Good morning, everybody. But today we're going to be talking about or learn how to make real estate less stressful. Again, we're beginning of the year. There's a new real estate market as we know it. So we got to learn how to make it less stressful so we can last longer and be happy and successful along the way. So, as you know, owning a real estate business has the potential to be a very stressful career. Some of you might be experiencing that already, but there are a lot of reasons for this, and you're probably familiar with most of them. But with a few strategies, you can always elevate your career from stressful to satisfying and successful. So, what do you imagine when you hear the expression stressful real estate career? What do you imagine? What comes to mind when you hear that? Well, probably agents working long and crazy hours, right? Including weekends, struggling to show properties to demanding clients. Then on top of that, you got paperwork and scouting new leads, right? So why is real estate so stressful? Well, for starters, is one of the most competitive marketplaces to be in. A lot of times, the best agents have to beat out the other agents who consistently getting listings. In today's market, or today specifically, we're dealing with high demand, low inventory, and that itself presents a challenge. So that said, there are so many factors and varieties or variables for that matter that go into the job. And let's not ignore the fact that it can also be one of the most depressing careers. After all, your salary can depend on the market that you live in, even some of those variables that you don't fully control. So that plays a huge part in how the stress level or how stress level can be at. So unfortunately, to top it off, the general public maintains a stereotype that agents just show homes, make offers, and then sit back, relax, and wait for the paycheck, right? The big paycheck to roll in. So if only were that easy. The truth is, being on call basically all day, every day takes a toll. Agents are constantly on call and on deadlines. There are many aspects of a home purchase that the buyer and sellers do not see, and this falls on the agent to take care of. Negotiations can take back turns and add a lot of extra work on the agent, not to mention extra stress on the agent. To sum it up, the list of reasons and problems that stress out real estate agents, that stress out all of us, is seemingly endless, but it doesn't have to take over your life. So, how do you make real estate less stressful? So, today I'm going to give you some stress reducing techniques and things that you can do to keep stress away. So, number one, work in the moment. Work in the moment. What does that mean? Well, keep in mind focused on keep your mind focused on the task at hand. A lot of people who experience stress are either relieving the past, especially negative experiences, or worrying about the future. So anytime you miss out on a listing or lose a buyer for a listing, don't spend time dwelling on that. Just learn from the experience and move on to the next thing. Learn from that. There's always a lesson to be learned. There's no failures. Number two, keep a firm schedule and never put things off. Keep a firm schedule and never put things off. Knowing what you're doing and when you're doing it will put your mind at ease every single day. The most stressed out agents are on a scattered schedule. Remember, they say a good day starts with the night before, and that's true. If you know when you're talking to clients, when you're prospecting, and when you're marketing any listings you have, then you can focus on those much easier. If you're confident in how you will execute certain tasks, the task will go more smoothly. Never ever procrastinate, even if it's a project that you have been putting off for a long time. Remember that it gets easier once you just put your mind into it and get it done. So schedule an hour or two just for that task. Sit down and solely focus on it. Once you have overcome your procrastination and completed a project you were dealing or dreading, Keep doing this regularly until it becomes easier, or better yet, enjoyable. It's all part of, putting that into a routine. Number three, put your routine, activities, hobbies, and any non-work related activities on the schedule. So number three, put your routine, activities, hobbies, and any non-work related activities on the schedule. Now, you got to step away from work for an adequate amount of time each week, and you have this reprieve on your schedule. If you work all day and evening with nothing in between, you're almost guaranteed to burn yourself out. So we suggest taking the time to relax, unplug, meditate without your smartphone or your tablets, computers, without any distractions. Taking time to listen to music, relax, even dozing off for a few minutes can help your thinking power and reduce a lot of the stress levels. So keep that one in mind. And number four, identify your biggest stress producers and give yourself pep talks beforehand. Number four, identify your biggest stress producers and give yourself pep talks beforehand. At what point during this work task and are or where you're most stressed? Listing presentations, showings, closings, negotiations, prospecting. At what point during those tasks were you most stressed? With each of these challenges, keep your expectations realistic and be ready to give yourself encouraging advice. You must prepare to succeed and pep talk yourself for all occasions. And number five, and last one, is remember that failing to prepare is preparing to fail. Remember that failing to prepare is preparing to fail. This is the most evident during the listing presentation, but steadily taking out time to work on improving the items that cause you the most grief will surely enhance your business model. In particular, be advised against winging or a listing presentation or any kind of presentation. Most realtors use a simple CMA as their listing presentation, and they compete over price to get the listing. So it's not usual for an agent to name a higher price than they feel the home will sell for just to get the listing. So basing your listing off a CMA is a problem for that reason. So do you have a listing presentation? If you don't, maybe you should work on putting a listing presentation, even a buyer's presentation. The fact that there's so many buyers out there right now, you should have a buyer's presentation to help the buyer commit to you, the professional. So what works better is to elevate the seller's or the buyer's motivation before going on a listing or a buyer's appointment, and then using a proving presentation to get the listing or to get the buyer to commit to you. So regarding sellers, solve your sellers' pain points and show how you'll address their fears. For example, you can admit that the housing market is still rough, and then solve that problem that you're showing how you can sell the home in a rough housing market, for example. Once you convince the seller, it's time to ask for the listing. Once you convince the buyer, it's time to ask the buyer to commit to you. And the reason I'm mentioning buyers because I don't know how many of you have used a buyer's agreement and having the buyer commit to you. It happened to all of us. A lot of buyers, especially now with the real estate market the way it is right now. I'm pretty sure we've seen that buyers, they use you, they want your time, they want your information, they want your resources. And then what happens? They decide to go with another agent because there's a lot of agents out there. So you got to learn how to go around this presentation, how to get familiar with this presentation, use it, practice it, because that way you reduce a lot of the stress level when you see that the buyer decided to go with somebody else. So I see a question in the chat, what is a buyer's agreement? A buyer's agreement is when you, who knows that actually? Who knows what a buyer agreement is? Who knows what I'm referring to?
It's an agreement between the agent and the buyer that helps to guarantee that you get paid. For example, if you show a buyer a property and they end up buying the same property with someone else, that agreement would help you. But also in some cases, when you show them a property that the seller is not willing to pay the buyer's, commission, like for example, for sale by owner, then that agreement also states how much commission you should be making on that, and it could make them be
Exactly.
responsible for that commission.
Right. Very good.
Yeah,
So
the other thing is that you really shouldn't be working with a buyer until you do a buyer's consultation. And at the end of the consultation, you prep them during the consultation, you're going to prep them that they're going to be signing an agreement, because you only have a limited amount of time to be working. And so if you're working with them and they're not committed to you, if they're not going to be loyal to you 100%, then they're basically taking time away from someone else that you could be helping. So yeah, I won't work with a buyer. I mean, I'll give them a little bit of information up front just to get them interested and to show them my level of professionalism. But without a buyer's consultation and without a buyer's agreement, you're wasting your time.
absolutely. Thank you, Jane. Thank you, Ray. Absolutely. Especially nowadays, since there's so many buyers, everybody's, pretty much qualify or get approved to purchase a home. So if they're taking time away from you, if you're giving your professionalism, you're giving your time, your expertise, why not learn how to use a buyer's agreement? They need to commit to you. Your job is just as important as a doctor, attorney, you name it. So you should be able to get a buyer to commit to you. And trust me, if you learn how to go around this, if you learn how to get them to commit to you, you will see your stress level will go down drastically because now you're committed. Just like when you're getting a listing. Will you get a listing without a seller's agreement? You wouldn't. So think about it. Also, I wanted to talk to you guys this on Wednesday, right, Steve? On Wednesday, we're having our monthly meeting, and it's also the awards meeting. So we want to invite all of you with Broker Nation to join us this Wednesday. Steve, you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yes, go to www.brokernation.events and you'll see the registration there. I have some people registered already, but this is going to be a luncheon. So there will be a sort of a hybrid event. It's going to be live in person with a lunch served afterwards, but it's also going to be on Zoom. So I would ask anybody that is going to attend, especially with the luncheon, please register so that we can get a head count and we know how to order food and things like that. So I have some people registered already. If any of you are planning on coming, any of you Broker Nation agents, this is an internal meeting. Make sure that you register at www.brokernation.events. You should also be seeing some invites in your email and things like that. So please go and register yourself so that we order enough food for you.
Steve, quick question. When you register, is that you're only registering for being there in person, right?
Well, I didn't really separate it out. I would ask, maybe we could find a way to register, or you could put a note in there, but we'll probably be calling everybody that does register and asking them afterwards. So if you are going to attend the live one for the luncheon, definitely, absolutely, please register if you get this message, and let's spread that to everyone else. We'll probably be calling everyone and just confirming anyway afterwards with everybody that registers with to find out if they're going to be live in person or if you're going to be participating via Zoom.
Right. The meeting.
In order to get the Zoom link, you have to register too. So if you do plan on attending, you're a Broker Nation agent.
Everybody, just register, and you most likely you're gonna get both. You're gonna get the link anyway, in case for whatever reason you cannot make it, you can still attend online.
And for those of you that are not a Broker Nation agent, this is one of the many events that we do to stay engaged. Of course, before COVID, we did monthly meetings, we did luncheons all the time. We did a lot of these trainings in person. Lots of trainings on technology, on marketing, on transaction process, on lending, and a lot of the really valuable kind of one-on-one stuff that you get with us that you, in addition to all the training they get from the board. So lots of support and training there. If you're not a Broker Nation agent, make sure you reach out to Daylon or myself and get some more information about that, or check out and talk to one of the other agents that are on this call now.
Keep in mind, this meeting is going to be in the North Miami office. There's plenty of space, and we encourage everybody, please take your masks, wear your mask. But if you can make it, make it. This is very encouraging. We went through, unprecedented year on 2020. I mean, we continue in the same situation right now, but just want to see people how they work really hard throughout, last year. They pivoted, they changed their way of doing business, and they got ahead. And we want to congratulate everybody in the company. So I know not everybody's gonna be there, but try to be present at least on the Zoom call, because we're gonna reference you guys as well. So very important. Just register, and you will get the link, but we'll follow up with a call just to make sure who's attending in person and who's attending.
So Daylon, I have one more question. These Mindset Mondays are great and the Real Estate Fridays, but I wish that there was like some way we could put it all together. Is there like, if I wanted to be an ultimate agent, is there some way that you can kind of put all this together for me that I could just get it all in one place?
Yeah. So if you haven't, what's my book?
That's my way of segueing into his book and teasing him about the book.
All right, guys. So all this Mindset Monday, thank you, Ray. We started back in March of 2020, and we started having the Mindset Monday, Real Estate Friday. So we kind of I thought, well, how can we put everything together especially for agents that they haven't been able to figure out, how am I going to get my business to the next level? How am I going to grow? What kind of strategies I can use that work in today's market, but not only in today's market, but I can take it to, any market at any time. The market could be up, it could be down, whatever it is. What strategies can I use, especially if I'm new in the real estate business, that it will help me grow, become a top producer? So we put together this book. It's called The Ultimate Guide to Becoming a Top Producer Agent. So this is completely free for you. All we ask is you can register for this. If you go to daylanrubido.com, you'll be able to get the book for free, and you'll get it in your email. So if you want to get it in person, you can swing by our office, or once you fill it out, let me know you want to get it in person, send me an email, we'll send you a copy, a free copy of the book. But there's a lot of information in there, a lot of motivation, a lot of strategies. There's even vendors we have added all the way at the end, and resources for you to use. And they're all free, and this is good for you to know and have handy at all times. So this is for you, and we want you guys to have it and use it. Put a lot of the stuff into practice, and it will help you tremendously. So go to daylanrubido.com, and you'll be able to get the book completely free. So you're gonna get a digital copy, or you can request the hard copy. Also, on Thursday, we're having a first-time home buyer webinar. So we're gonna do it on Zoom. We want to invite as many buyers as possible. We want to give them information. A lot of people, this is tax season. A lot of people will be doing the taxes. A lot of them are getting tax returns. So we want to be able to help them, guide them. So we put together this first-time home buyer webinar with Freedom Mortgage, and we're gonna be putting a lot of information out for them to use. And if they're interested, we're giving up to depending if you want to participate in that, but I'm giving up to $5,000 to this buyers out of 10 if they commit before Sunday. So we're having the meeting on Thursday at 7 p.m. You can go to www.brokernation.events. The invitation is there. You can send it to them. If they register, or if you invite somebody, just give us their name to make sure that they're there, they're in the list, they register, and attend yourself. So if you can attend yourself and invite other people to come with you, that would be great. So it's going to be on Thursday at 7 p.m. So the idea is to be able to help these buyers coming Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, schedule appointments with them directly with the lender, so we can help them get pre-approved, or at least show them where they're at and what they need to do in order to get approved to purchase a home. It couldn't be a better time, because of the low interest rates and the buying power that most borrowers have now. So again, if you want to take advantage of this, invite them over to our webinar for first-time home buyers, and that's it. That's all we have for today, and I'll see you guys on Friday. On Friday, I'm planning on doing an interview training with what's a company? Her name is Anna, and she is from Century Home Builders. They have some great products in awesome locations. So they don't have to go way down south or way up north, far away from mid Miami, and they have a lot of products for you guys to get familiar with. They're located in Coral Gables. So I'm gonna be sending a lot of information beforehand so you guys can get a little bit familiar with the content that we're gonna be sharing with you. So stay tuned for Real Estate Friday. Register for the webinar on Thursday, and I hope to see you in person or live on Zoom on Wednesday for our Broker Nation monthly meeting. With that said, guys, thank you so much for tuning with us today for Mindset Monday. Thank you. I hope you have an awesome weekend, a awesome week. Stay safe, stay healthy. I'll see you guys on our next meeting. Bye, everybody.
Thank you, Sid. Bye.
Thank you.
Have a great week.
Bye,
Have a
Prof.
great day.
Bye, Jane. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Bye, Esther.